All right, Rob, we started out the show, and it's the biggest story of the day. Kyrie Irving is going to opt into his deal. And remember, Rob, I was saying, and this is not, there are times we toot our own horns. We do that on this show. We have fun. I do it on TV with Nick Wright and Kevin Wiles and Jenna Wolfe having fun. But I'm not even saying this to toot my own horn. I'm just saying I always thought, Rob, if I was the Nets, the best option was for Kyrie, to opt in. Remember, and I was saying, if I were them, I'd sit down with him, try to meet with him and say, look, you should opt into your deal because we're not going to give you a long-term deal. Now, let's go ball. This season was jacked up. It wasn't all your fault. Yeah, you didn't get vaccinated, but that's your personal belief. We happen to be in one of the states where, one of the few where you couldn't play. So, we'll let that go. But let's go have a real year, win a championship. And then after that, or at least contend for a championship.
Right, then we'll sit down and talk.
After that, then no doubt, we want you. We know you're great.
We signed you.
But
we got you.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I think this is great for them. But, Rob, I'm going to throw this out, too. I don't think the Nets – now, Kyrie's obviously been humbled. I don't care what kind of smile he puts on, how he laughs about it, what kind of tweets he puts out and phrases and statements and all that stuff. He's clearly been humbled. Okay. But if I'm the Nets, Rob, I don't want to bury Kyrie. I'm talking about his spirits, right? I don't want this to be, ideally, I wanted something, if I'm them, that would feel like a win-win. Because I want Kyrie in a good mindset. I want him feeling good about himself and feeling good about our team and our organization. Now, maybe that's not all possible, but that's what I want. And so I don't, don't stick out your chest. And I know I'm not saying they will, but, just don't embarrass Kyrie.
Nah, I think they understood. They won. You don't need to do that, Chris. You won. And he's coming back, and you put it together, and Joe Harris, and if everybody's healthy, you give it a shot. Give it a shot.
And I think the reason you don't want to do that is because, as you said, you want to have your best year that you've had since he and KD have been with the team.
Right.
So this is what I want to throw out to you, Rob. How do you think Kyrie will play? You think he'll be ticked off? You think he'll be, is he in good spirits to come out and do his thing? Or even if he's ticked off, maybe he'll play great if he's ticked off. I don't know, but what do you think?
I think he'll play fine. If he wants to continue to play basketball and he's not retiring or whatever, there's a lot to be earned this year. I mean, to make your name better, to clean up what's been going on, Chris, to have people talk about you. He's taking his lumps. How many lumps of sugar are you going to take? Nike dropped you. You didn't make the top 75 list. Damian Lillard made it. I mean, how many lumps, Chris, do you want?
Nobody wanted you on
Nobody
the trade
wanted
market
you.
other
Here
than
it
the
is.
Desperate Lakers.
Exactly. And they wanted you for $6 million. So I mean, you got to at some point look and go, what is going on here? What am I doing? I'm one of the all-time great players in the NBA. I was on a team and had a big shot in a big game when we came back from 3-1, the first time ever done in NBA history. There's a lot there left on the bone, but he has to correct it and make people remember what a great player he is and stop with all the other stuff. Nike dropped you for a reason, Chris. You remember we talked about it before when he told people not to buy the sneaker?
How do you,
we both said it. We're like, dude, if I'm Nike, I'm pissed. And remember, he apologized the next day.
So. Absolutely.
You can't do business like that.
I get it. You don't like the sneaker. Call them up, chew them out,
but
give
you
them a
can't
piece
tell
of your
people
mind.
not to buy the sneaker.
What are you doing? Yeah, and to be honest, Rob, I mean,
Chris, that would be like
exactly
me.
What those
that would be like
me
me and you being on the Odd Couple saying, "Don't listen to the show."
Right.
What would Fox Sports Radio do?
Right. And Kyrie had a good thing going with Nike. Because his shoes, Rob
His
G,
shoe
correct
was
me if I'm
doing
wrong,
well.
I think they were the hottest selling sneakers of the current players. Is that true, Rob G? I mean, Jordan obviously dominates.
I
but
think
of
you're
the
right. I
current
think his
players,
was better than LeBron's, weren't they?
Yeah. I think his,
Rob G, do you
his
know?
shoes look sharp.
I know
Yeah,
it was
different
definitely
colors.
in the top 2 or 3. It could be number
Yeah.
1. I have to look it up. But
They were up there.
amongst current players. Those in the Paul Georges were easily the most worn by current players because they're actually good to play in, unlike the LeBrons.
LeBron's are too bulky, right?
They're
and
heavy.
Too
'cause
heavy.
He's so big. Right. Although Rob G loves sporting the ones I gave him. Anyway.
See, Rob G, I want you to notice the way he
I
says.
gave him purple and gold ones, Rob. Laker colors.
Rob G.
I personalized mine.
Yeah, but Rob G, the difference between me and Chris is he said the pair that I gave Rob G, and you know what word I would use?
They hadn't been worn.
The Jordans that I bought. No, somebody probably gave him the sneakers, and it was a like a hand-me-down gift. I actually went out and
Hand-me-down gift.
what do they
Stop
call it? A regifter. Chris is a
And
regifter.
with those boards you sent me,
Chris
don't
is a
even start.
regifter.
Those Jordache sneakers you sent me to pawn off his Jordans.
Hey, and Rob G and Alex and Elijah, y'all all got Jordans that I paid cash money for. That's all I'm saying.
You know what? If you
'Cause
guys are
here's
going to
what-
keep
see,
arguing about this kind of stuff, me and Alex are going to start
pays
expecting them every couple of weeks.
Rob paid all the work Rob has Elijah do for him. He paid him in a pair of Jordans.
No, it's not.
So it wasn't even like
I pay
he
Elijah
deserved about
cash.
30 pair of Jordans for all that work he did for you.
He does great work for me, but I pay Elijah.
Rob's going to add him to the MLB Bro financial so we can write it off in taxes.
Hey, Rob G, I got a staff of 34 at MLB.
You mean 35 with Elijah.
Yeah, okay. And I'm waiting for Alex to break the color barrier, but that's another story.
I'm going to say this, Rob, as we get back to Kyrie. Kyrie, and you never know with him, he's got to understand, Rob, the bet, even if he is ticked off with the Nets, even if his thinking is, man, I am so out of here next summer. I can't wait to get out of here, man. They did me wrong. I brought KD here. It's my personal decision not to get vaccinated, and they holding that against whatever he's thinking. Even if that's the case for Kyrie, brother, the best thing for you to do, whether you want to stay with the Nets going forward or you want to get out of Dodge as soon as you can after next season, the best thing for you to do is go out and ball. I mean, in a way, we know you can shake everybody in the league up. You can dazzle us with your handle, with your finishing ability. You need to ball in a way that's going to get y'all wins. That's the best thing you can do.
That's all he has to do, Chris. People will forget about all that other nonsense and say.
And even Rob, if he wants to leave, how you going to do it?
No, I agree.
You go out there and play great. You be committed all year. And then those teams that you put on your wish list, maybe they'll want you. There's going to be a lot of teams with cap room next year. Better teams than this year.
Right.
So he's got to go out and just play ball. And Rob, I don't know if you know this. And I'm sure this played into the Nets thinking as well and why they were so bold and brazen with Kyrie. Rob, their record with Kyrie Irving this year was 14-15. Without him, it was 30-23.
Wow.
And, okay, small sample size, some might say. Disjointed season. He's in and out of the line. Cool, that works. But over the 3 years, Rob, that Kyrie's been there, they have won 56% of the games in which he played and 56% of the games in which he did not play.
That's an unbelievable stat right there.
I mean, we all know he's great, but it hasn't translated to winning anywhere except when he was next to LeBron James. That's it. Cleveland before LeBron, Boston, Brooklyn. And so that just bolsters my point that Kyrie needs to go out there and get busy. Bizzy.
What
All
school did you graduate from?
Southwest Connecticut School of the Arts Tech.